Hey fellow bibliophiles, this is Sophia from Loose Literature and I'm back with another video. Today's video is my massive book haul. So I recently got a lot of books, and by a lot I mean like almost 30. I will put a total at the end of the video with how many books that I got because it's a little ridiculous. But this is going to be like the first and probably the last massive book haul that I do on this channel. And I'm pretty much done buying books for the rest of the year. However, 3 of these books were gifts, so I did not buy them. They were gifted to me and they are going to be quite special to me, and you'll see why. And then the rest were also gifted to me through my boyfriend. It was a college graduation gift that he told me I could go on a little Barnes & Noble spree. So love him, love how he supports my addiction. I'm just kidding. But no, seriously, reading books and buying books are 2 completely different things, and I'm aiming to do both. So by the end of this year, I want to have like all the books that I have bookmarks and read, and I don't want to have any new books that I bought after these, and I want to read through quite a few of my unread books. So yeah, because my house literally feels like a library at this point. Like, you've only seen these 2 shelves really, but downstairs there's 1, 2, 3, 4 more shelves that are double stacked with books. There's a shelf to this side, there's another shelf over there, there's this one, and there's a purple one in my bedroom. So yeah, I have no idea where I'm putting all these books that I just got. I guess I'll figure it out. I can't wait till I move to the new place and I can have nice, pretty shelves. Ugh, it's literally been my dream for so long, and I'm finally gonna get it, and I'm so excited. So anyways, let's jump into this haul because there's quite a lot. Okay, so I did open these packages before I started filming, but I did record me opening them, so I'm just gonna insert those clips right now. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed those clips of me opening those boxes. As you can see, one of the packages was actually pretty small and only had about 4 books in it, and then the other one was massive. And that's not even all of the books, because I bought some of them in person while I was down in Arizona for the graduation, because I wanted them and then just saw them in the store and was like, oh, I'll just buy them right now. So yeah, I love my rationalization of that. We're gonna start with the books that were gifts, and these are very fragile. So the first book that was gifted to me was a first edition of the Best of Sherlock Holmes. So this one, the first primary story is The Sign of the Four, but it has other stories in it. And when I say first edition, like, I mean these aren't our first edition. Like, they're not just books made to look like first editions, they are literal first editions. So I can even feel how fragile the spine is. So when I read these, I'm probably gonna make sure I wash my hands before I read them every time, not have any food anywhere near them, and I'm probably going to be reading them like this because I don't want to bend the spine any more than it is, although these are hardcovers. So, but yes, so this is one, here's another, and here's another. And I kind of am curious in taking these to be appraised by someone who would know what they were worth, just because I want to see, like, they're so beautiful though, and they have that like amazing book smell. Yeah, but it's even better because they are old, so they have old book smell, which does not smell bad. I don't care what anyone says. And I just think they are so beautiful. I can't wait to read these. I am gonna do a themed reading vlog around them, and each volume starts with like this beautiful drawing. So yes, I am gonna do a themed reading vlog around these, and you can tell how old they are. Like, look at how yellow these pages are. They're so beautiful. These are like my babies. Like, there are very few books that have like baby status. This is one. My edition of Babel is another, and there's 2 others that were gifted to me, Princess Bride and Practical Magic, that are in like really special editions. So those books and these now all have baby status, which means I will baby them. I will treat them like they are gonna break if I so much as like hold them too hard. So yes, I'm gonna put those on these shelves just because I don't want them to get hurt while I'm doing a lot of rearranging of books around me. So how do we want to do this? We could do this in 2 ways. Okay, so we are going to start with the books that I bought in person. So the first book is A People's History of the Vampire Uprising. I have already read this, and I did already give my review for it. That is in my Where I've Been and What I've Read Recently video. So if you're interested in seeing my thoughts on this, you should go check it out. It was pretty good. I did give it a 4.5 star. And then the next book that I bought in person to go with the vampire theme is Anno Dracula by Kim Newman. I have never heard of this book, but apparently it was like super famous, and then it was out of print for a while, and they've just started reprinting it. And I think it is part of a series, but this is a gorgeous special edition. It's got these red edges, and it is signed. We love that. And it's actually quite small for a hardback. Like, I could actually hold this with my hand. And it also comes with a ribbon bookmark, which I love that. I love when special editions have that. So yeah, and there's an introduction by Neil Gaiman. And I was like, if Neil Gaiman introduces this book, like, what? He's pretty freaking famous. So I love Neil Gaiman. He's just such a good person. And I am super excited to read this. I did get A People's History and then this one, and I was like, am I in a vampire mood? So yeah, I'm super excited to read this. It is in my jar, so maybe I will get to this book soon. Okay, these next 2 I'm seriously excited for because I finally have the rest of the books that I needed in the House of Olympus series. So I have the first 3, so then I just need to buy House of Hades, which is book 4, and The Blood of Olympus, which is book 5. And if you don't know who these are by, are you living under a rock? They're by Rick Riordan, okay? Okay. Anyways, I am super excited to read these, especially because I know what happens in this book. But I also am really curious about what happens in this. I know nothing about this, which I don't know how I managed to avoid spoilers for that. But yeah, I did. And then I have some other exciting news as well. One of the books that I ordered is not actually here yet because it's a pre-order, and I pre-ordered Rick Riordan's newest Percy Jackson novel, which is The Chalice of the Gods. I think that's what it's called. I'll put a picture here. Anyways, that doesn't get released until like September, so until that's released, I'm just going to be waiting for it. So yes, I am super excited to finally read these. I do have a themed reading vlog planned around Percy Jackson and House of Olympus. So yeah, it's going to be a fun time. It's going to be so fun. I love it. Okay. These next 2 books I bought in person, but I'm going to go find the other book that belongs with them. Oh, it's right here. Anyways. All right. So the next book that I bought in person was You by Carolyn Kepnes, because I saw the Netflix show and I was like, oh my god, this show is so good. And if I think that about a show, how good do you imagine the book's going to be? Even better, right? So I was like, okay, I need to buy these books and read them. So I bought You and Hidden Bodies in person, but they didn't have the 3rd book, so I had to order it, and that is You Love Me. I am so excited to read all 3 of these. They are very interesting because Joe is like an anti-hero, right? He's the bad guy. But you're reading from his POV, so you end up rooting for him. And you're like, what? No. And it's like the weirdest thing because even though Joe does horrible things, he's a likable guy. Like, I don't know how Caroline Kepnes accomplished that. I'm probably saying her name wrong, but... And it says now a Lifetime series, but then these other 2 books say Netflix. So I just think that's kind of funny. Yeah, and I'm super excited for these. This one is about Joe and how he meets Guinevere Beck, which is what the first season follows. Hidden Bodies is about Joe moving to California and meeting love in 40, which is what the second season's about. But this one, I think the 3rd season is very different from this one, and it isn't actually really based off this one. I don't know. Actually, it might be. I really don't know. But I'm super excited to, sorry, I got lost in looking at the pages. I'm super excited to read these, and these books have like gorgeous designs, but this one especially, like, when I say design, I don't mean the front cover. I mean like literally how the book is made. It's floppy, but it's a small paperback. And normally floppy paperbacks are like quite large, but like look at that flop. And then this is one of my favorite covers of the series. I love this. It's so iconic and classic, and it's minimalistic, so like it doesn't like, it's not a super busy cover, but it works so well. So yeah, I'm super excited to finally read this whole series, and I am gonna binge read the series. I've decided that for any series I own, I just need to start binge reading them because I've been doing that lately and it's worked out super well. So yeah, these are the next 3 books I got. I love them. Okay, the last book I bought in person was also a sequel, and I had to order the, you probably just saw it, you probably know what book it is now. I had to order the last book in the trilogy, and that is The Dragon Republic by R.F. Kuang. I'm finally gonna do it, guys. I'm finally gonna finish this trilogy. I've held off on finishing it because after reading the first book, I was so emotionally devastated that I was like, I don't know if I can handle the next 2 books. But after reading Babel, I've kind of adjusted to R.F. Kuang and how she doesn't do really happy endings or happy journeys or happy anything. So, yeah, I'm gonna do this. And then on that note, I also bought the last book in the trilogy, which is The Burning God. I was waiting to buy these 2 because I have the first book in this hardback white cover, so I really wanted the rest of the series to be in these white covers so that they would match, and because I don't own white covers and I think they're gorgeous. Like, I am terrified of getting them dirty, but oh, they're so pretty. So yeah, I'm finally gonna read these. I might vlog my thoughts on them. I'm undecided about that. I don't know if I will. Probably because I don't want you guys to see me cry. Anyways, so the second book is about how one war is over, but another has just begun. And Rin, so sadly, is addicted to opium, which like, she's addicted to like the opium like in its purest form, but like opiates, which are pills that we get for pain all the time today, do have quite a high addiction rate, so you can tell how bad it is. And she is planning on going after the Empress. I think that's interesting. Yeah, the first book ended really, really sadly, so yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna do with this one. I don't think it's gonna be any less sad or traumatic, but I guess we'll see. And then The Burning God is about how Rin is kind of on her own and she's returning to her roots and like reconnecting with her people. So I think that's very interesting. Oh my god, sorry, I just realized how these pages are really thin. Oh no. they're so thin. That's worrying. Anyways, I don't remember the first book's pages being that thin, so that's interesting. But yeah, it's also interesting because this book has white end papers, and this one has like purple. I think they're so pretty though. Yeah, and Fonda Lee's blurred the second book, and she literally just says brace yourself. So that makes me scared. Anyways, I better stop before I just like keep talking about these books and how amazing they are. And I love this like art, and it does have that like traditional art feel to it. Like you feel like this art is something that has a ton of history and culture behind it, like the style, not the actual art, but the style. So I think that's super cool. And yeah, okay, moving on, because I'm gonna start talking way too much, and I don't think you guys want to hear me rave about the Poppy War, because R.F. Kuang is my favorite author ever, and so far both the books I've read from her, I've given 5 stars. So yeah, every book I read that she's written, I give 5 stars to. She's gonna be like my new time all favorite author, and I think that's how it should be. Like, you should only like really say an author is your favorite if you like either 95% or 100% of their books. Like, and they don't have to, like, I guess they don't have to be the best written or the best plots, but like if it just clicks with you. Okay, we're gonna keep on that note of R.F. Kuang, and I pre-ordered Yellowface, and it just released, so I got it. I love this cover. What the heck? Another minimalistic cover. Woo woo. And I love the inside too, because it's white and yellow, and I think that, like, honestly, that's like the prettiest combination. Anyways, I am so excited for this book, and I know that it's going to be a hard read and it's really frustrating, but it's her first like contemporary literary fiction book. Like, before that she's really only written fantasy, so I'm kind of curious how this will be different. And basically this is about June Hayward and Athena Liu, who Athena dies. This is not a spoiler, again, this is literally in here. Athena dies, and June kind of takes her story and doesn't credit her, so she plagiarizes and steals Athena's masterpiece. And so basically it's about how she's trying to keep that a secret about where the novel came from, and she's gonna like be exposed for that. I think that's so interesting, and I think this book is gonna have a lot of commentary on the publishing industry and how white authors are favored over authors of color, and how there's just a ton of racism that people of color still have to deal with. So I'm very excited, and once again, we have we have a character who is Asian, which I feel like R.F. Kuang writes about her experiences so eloquently and so real, and it just kind of grips you. So I'm very curious to see how this will work, because the main POV is a white woman. So we'll see. But because this happened in Babel, please, for the love of God, like, if you I am so, like, I'm just predicting that I'm gonna see reviews of people being like, I got like mad at reading this book because I feel bad for being white. And it's like, why would this book make you feel bad for being white? Like, we just did this with Babel, we're not doing it with this book. Like, please don't do that, okay? Read it and learn from it. And if you don't learn from it, don't cry about it on the internet, because no one wants to see that and see like your internal, like your racism. Like, what? I'm sorry, that review of Babel still gets me so mad. Like, I get so mad whenever I think about it. So I need to stop thinking about it. Okay, the next book is very different from that one. It is Scanlines by Todd Kiesling. This is very short, like, it's just over 100 pages, and it is a novella, but the story behind it is so interesting, and it's about how there's allegedly this tape called the Duncan tape, and if you watch it, you die. So it's an urban legend, and I love that. And yeah, I'm super excited to read this because I want to see if it's good. I love horror novellas because horror is like the one genre where it doesn't have to be long for the story to be so effective. And yeah, I'm just super excited. But if you want to know how small it is, that's how small it is. Very small. Yeah, I'm just so excited. And I love this cover. It's got like that VHS feel to it. Sorry. I love doing ASMR with my nails now, because I hardly ever get acrylics. I only get them for special occasions, so. Okay, the next book I've heard quite a few amazing things about, and that is Slew Foot, A Tale of Bewitchery by Brom. I've heard really good things about this book, and I love that it's by witches, but also it's about witches. But also, like, this book is really wide. Like, I've never really read a book this wide. I've read some tall ones, but not, like, wide ones. I think the widest book I have is Pan's Labyrinth by Guillermo del Toro, and this comes pretty close to how wide that one is. So, it's just interesting to me. And apparently this one comes with artwork as well, which makes me so excited. There's one. Beautiful. Anyways, this is about an ancient spirit who awakens in a dark wood, and the colonists call him Slew Foot, demon, devil, but to Abatha, she turns to him for help, and they are going to ignite a battle between pagan and Puritan. And that sounds super interesting to me, if only because I tend to think paganism is super interesting and something that has been taken advantage, like many of pagan holidays have been taken over by Christianity and Catholicism, so it's going to be super interesting to see that. And also, it's in colonial New England, so this is historical fantasy horror, I believe, and I'm sure this is going to include some themes of colonization and how that affects the indigenous people and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm super interested. And this cover's so beautiful, you guys. Oh, that's a skull. Oh, and she's got, what? Guys, I didn't look at this cover properly. That's a skull, and she's got goat legs. Okay. All right, I see where this is going now. So yes, I think I'm gonna keep like a running book count right here or something of like, okay, now we're at 14, now we're at 15, now we're at 16. Yeah, this is ridiculous. The next book that I have is Blood Marked by Legendborn by Tracy Dion. It is the second book in the Legendborn series. There we go. Sorry, I just filmed another video before this, so I'm like kind of in a loop. And I am super excited to read this, and I've heard that it picks up kind of right where the first book left off, so that is super exciting. I'm going to try to start going through these a little bit faster because we still got a lot to go. Okay, I guess I'll tackle like my biggest series next. I just don't know what order they go in. I guess I'll just do it randomly. Okay, the next books I got were the rest of the House of Night series, so not in the actual order that they should be in, but we have Redeemed, Revealed, Awakened, Destined, and Hidden. So now I have the complete series. You don't know how happy that makes me. It took me years to get them. And this is like my favorite YA series. Like nothing will top this series for me. And honestly, I think it should be considered more of like a new adult series, just because it's very upper YA. There's a lot of stuff in it that I would consider more new adult, such as like sexual content and stuff like that. Not graphic, but like it's there. And I just, oh my god, I love this series. When I read this, I wanted to be Zoe so badly. Like, I thought Zoe was the coolest chick. And I'm very excited. I think towards the end of the series, it starts to get really dark, so that excites me too. I love anything that turns to that whole, like, dark side of things. not to sound like a Star Wars nerd, but so yeah, there are, how many books in the series? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 12. And I have all of them. So I am planning a reading vlog around this series. I'm probably going to split it in half though and do a part 1, which is the first 6, and a part 2, which is the second 6. So yeah, because reading all 12 in one video, oh my god, that would be insane. So yeah, the month that I pick this reading vlog, well, these will be the only books I'll read that month. Unless I, like, miraculously read them all very fast. But I doubt that. Yes, okay. The next series that I have started collecting, I know, I really need to stop collecting series because I have so many at this point, is the Veronica Speedwell series by Deanna Raybourn. I am super excited to read this. Olivia Reads a Latte raves about this series, so I really want to read it and, like, see if it's something I would like. I think I would because it gives me like Enola Holmes vibes. And if you haven't read those books or watched the movies on Netflix, you should go watch them. They're so good. But yes, so I got the first 4, and again, in no particular order, I have A Curious Beginning, A Perilous Undertaking, A Dangerous Collaboration, and A Treacherous Curse. So yes, I'm so excited to read these first 4, and I am going to binge read them, so we'll see how that goes. I've never read Deanna Raybourn, so I hope I really like her, because if I don't, I'm going to be really sad. And then, just cause those are historical fiction, we're going to do some more historical fiction, and that is The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter by Theodora Goss. This is about Mary Jekyll, who's alone and penniless following her parents' death, and she finds herself drawn into the secrets of her father's mysterious past. A clue leads her to believe that Edward Hyde, her father's former friend and a murderer, may be nearby, and there's still a reward out for him that would solve her financial trouble. And then her hunt brings her to Diana, his daughter, and with the assistance of Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson, Mary continues her search and soon gathers around her more women, all of whom have been created through terrifying experimentation. Beatrice Rappaccini, Catherine Moreau, and Justine Frankenstein. When their investigations lead them to the discovery of a secret society of immortal and power-crazed scientists, the horrors of their past soon arrive on their doorstep. And now it is up to the 5 women to stop the malicious machinations of the Société des Alchimistes. And so basically this is like famous daughters of famous literary villains. This is amazing. This sounds like something that I would actually really love because, oh my god, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, we've got Frankenstein, we've got Sherlock Holmes, we've got like all of that. And okay, as you know from previously, I love Sherlock Holmes, and this is like a feminist Sherlock Holmes with daughters of other villains. I think it's gonna be amazing, and I can't wait to read this. I'm actually super excited, so yeah, that'll be awesome. Okay, all right, we are almost there. We are almost there, friends, I promise. The next book is When the Reckoning Comes by Latonya McQueen, and this is something that Gabby recommends and read recently, I believe. And basically it's about Mira, who fled her segregated hometown in the South, and she comes back home for her best friend's wedding, but the wedding is at a house that was formerly part of a plantation, and like all of the wait staff are black, and so it's just really uncomfortable, and horror like things start to happen. So she and her friend who's getting married and their other friend are trying to survive and acknowledge like what happened between them that broke them all apart. This is super interesting because, like I always say, horror has been historically used for social commentary, and so here we're getting a buttload of social commentary, and I think it's going to be amazing, especially because I know there are people who have plantation weddings. Like, that's a thing. I've seen pictures of them, and it's like, oh, like, why do you think that's okay? So yes, it's gonna be so interesting. And again, it's not that long. It is, ooh, short chapters. I love that. Sorry. It is like 237 pages, so pretty short. I could fly through this, and I'm just like super excited to finally read this because I've had it on my list for a little bit already. So now, the next one I'm reading is None Shall Sleep by Ellie Marney, and this is like Criminal Minds but with teenagers. Okay, like what's her name? One of the book horror YouTubers I follow, Mandy's Morgue of Horror. She read this book and loved it, and the second book is coming out this year, so I'm gonna read this and I'm gonna hopefully love it. And basically it's about a serial killer survivor, Emma Lewis, and a U.S. Marshal candidate, Travis Bell, who are recruited by the FBI to interview convicted juvenile killers and provide insight on cold cases. And they develop a really quick friendship, and they're super effective, but then they have to go help solve an active case. I'm so excited. I've been in such a Criminal Minds mood lately, so like this is only furthering that. Like this is only making that worse. I need to watch it. I need to get my boyfriend to watch it because he was gonna watch the whole thing so that we could watch the new seasons together, but he stopped on like season 11. So I gotta get him to do it. But yes, I'm so excited for this, and I can't wait to read this, and I hope it's amazing. And I honestly think it's not gonna read like it's super young adult. I think it's gonna read more like 16 to 17, which is great. I love that. It's great. I love it so much. And then I also love this cover. It's got that very like 80s comic vibe, I feel like. It's just so iconic, and this blue color, like I don't think I own a book that's this color. It's amazing. I love it. Oops. Sorry, Zoe. Okay. The next book I have, and that I'm super excited for, is Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. I am so excited to read this book, and I want to love this so bad because as soon as I heard about it, I was like, I need that, and I've been looking for it, and I finally just ordered it. And I've heard that, like, honestly, I haven't even read it, but this book to me is gonna feel like a warm cup of tea. Like, I haven't even read it, and that's already how I feel like it's gonna feel to me. Wild. And this is by Heather Fawcett. Heather Fawcett has written For Darkness Writes this for some, oh my gosh, where is it? Oh, she wrote Even the Darkest Stars, which I have read. I have read that, okay? And she previously only wrote YA, and this is her new book, her adult book. So I'm super excited to read this and see how she writes for adults compared to teenagers. And basically this is about Cambridge professor Emily Wilde, and she's a genius scholar who's writing the world's first Encyclopedia of Fairies. And she goes to this place in Ireland that's kind of out of the way, and there's not a lot of people there, so it's perfect for her. But she has to deal with Wendell Bambleby, who is charming the townsfolk, but is muddling up her research. So she does not appreciate that. And I'm just really excited because I think this is going to be a romance. And I hope it is. And also there's another book coming out. Like, this is just the first book, so I'm gonna read it and see how it goes. But honestly, this is one of the books that I wanted to read the most this year, so I'm so happy I finally have it, and that hopefully I'll get to read it this year. It all depends on like how many books I pick out of here. But yeah, super excited. Okay, now the last 6 books I got. I know. I went a little insane. But hey, he was like, here's the $500. Go have fun. And I was like, okay. I will go have fun, as you have instructed. So, these are all part of a series. But I hate that I bought the redesigned covers, because now the first 2 I have don't match. It's fine. It's really not that big of a deal. Yeah, it is. I'm gonna have to replace them. Oh. Okay. No, it's not that big of a deal. It's fine. I will be fine. I bought the rest of the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. So I have the first two, read them and loved them, but I haven't made moves to read the rest of them, and with that $500, I was like, I'll just go buy the rest of the series real quick. And that was a good choice, because now I have them all, so now I can read them all. And I even got The Assassin's Blade, which is the novella, and even though I said I would never read it, I think I'm gonna read it, so there's your thing for how I can be easily influenced. So, in no particular order, we're gonna go through them. I have The Assassin's Blade. I have Heir of Fire. I have Queen of Shadows. I have Empire of Storms. I have The Tower of Dawn. And I have Kingdom of Ash. So, and once again, I'm gonna binge read them. So the month that I picked this whole series, I think we're just gonna like pick 2 other books besides these, because that's a lot. That's 6. Anyways, and some of them are quite chunky. I mean, Kingdom of Ash. Like, seriously, I don't even, oh my god. 980 pages. That is not the biggest fantasy book I have, but it is one of them. So yeah. Okay, everyone, that was my entire book haul. Woo! That took a while. I really hope you enjoyed these. And thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below telling me what books you bought recently or what book you're most excited for me to read. Also, don't forget to subscribe to me on follow me on Storygraph. Sorry, I'm in YouTube mode. Don't forget to follow me on Storygraph at Sophia_Dawn. And yeah, I had so much fun filming this. This was like my first big book haul that I've done, and I think it went really well. Although, like, I feel like I'm losing my voice from talking so much. And this also took a ton of time to film, so yes, but because this was the first one, I was super excited to do it, and I'm so happy with how it turned out. I feel like I could have done some of the books more justice and talked about them more, but I'm proud of myself. And also, this is probably the last book haul of the year, so don't expect any more of them. I need to stop buying books. It's time to cut the addiction and actually read all of mine, sell the ones I don't like, separate out the ones that are going into my classroom. And also, when I figure out what books I'm gonna sell, I will do a video on that. When I figure out what books are going in my classroom, I will do a video on that. So look for those videos coming later this year, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!